The final paycheck arrives on Friday morning. By Monday, the routine that shaped your life has disappeared. You sit at the kitchen table with coffee and open your retirement account. The balance reads $500,000. For a moment, the number feels enormous. Then a hard question enters the room. What kind of life can this money buy? The answer depends on how you ask it to serve you. In one retirement, you cook at home and keep the same car. You watch every bill, but the portfolio barely feels each withdrawal. 20 years later, it may hold more purchasing power than when you started. In another retirement, life feels simple but never deprived. You meet friends for dinner and take one modest trip each year. The money works harder here. Still, it has time to recover after difficult markets. Then life becomes more comfortable. There are better restaurants, a newer car, and more help for your family. Travel no longer requires months of planning. The lifestyle feels natural quickly, which makes it difficult to reduce later. In the fourth retirement, your calendar fills with flights, hotels, and family visits. You spend more because your healthy years feel limited. That choice can be reasonable. But each memorable year uses flexibility from a later one. Finally, you upgrade the car, travel often, and rarely check the price before saying yes. $500,000 can support that feeling for a while. It just cannot support it forever. These lives begin with the same account balance. They begin with the same Social Security deposit and the same person sitting at this table. Only the amount your lifestyle demands from the portfolio changes. That difference decides whether the money grows, survives, or disappears. At one level, the portfolio may still be standing decades from now. At another, it could be gone before 75. The number on your phone never warned you about that. So we're going to walk through all 5 versions. At each level, you'll see what you can afford, what the portfolio must provide, and how long it may last. You'll also see the hidden price. Because the number that controls your retirement isn't the $500,000 on the screen. It's the gap left after your guaranteed income arrives. That gap determines which life you can keep, and which life eventually asks for more than your money can give. Before we test the 5 lives, we need to know what the $500,000 must support. Otherwise, the same balance can look safe in one household and dangerously small in another. You are 67 and leaving work completely. You live alone in a paid-off house. There is no consumer debt or pension. The home sits outside the $500,000 invested for retirement. Your Social Security benefit is just over $2,070 monthly, near the average benefit in 2026. Medicare Part B removes slightly more than $200 before it reaches you. We will round the available deposit to $1,900 a month. Taxes may reduce it further, depending on your accounts and income. One tax number cannot fit everyone. This is a model, not a personal plan. Your money sits in a balanced, diversified portfolio. The base model assumes a 5% return after included investment costs. Prices rise 2.5% yearly. That leaves roughly 2.4% growth after inflation. Markets never follow that smooth line. Some years rise, while others fall without warning. Later, a first-year market loss will test every lifestyle. The order of those returns can change your entire outcome. Each lifestyle must cover food, transportation, insurance, healthcare, property taxes, repairs, and daily life. A paid-off house removes the mortgage. It does not make housing free. Now we need a reference point. Recent retirement research places a starting withdrawal near 3.9% under a specific 30-year model. On $500,000, that equals $19,500 during the first year. Add Social Security, and modeled income reaches about $42,300. That is near $3,500 monthly. This becomes our middle step between extreme saving and faster spending. That does not make the lifestyle safe. The benchmark depends on the portfolio, time, inflation, and flexibility. It measures, it does not promise. At each level, we will track monthly spending, annual withdrawals, the starting rate, and the remaining balance. Then we will test how much pressure the plan absorbs. We will also ask what each lifestyle adds to retirement and what it quietly removes. The first lifestyle will look almost unbeatable on a spreadsheet. Your portfolio barely needs to work, and the chance of running out appears distant. But a retirement can protect every dollar while spending something more valuable: your healthy years. This first life is built around protection. You allow yourself $2,500 each month. Property taxes still arrive. Insurance rises, appliances fail, and the roof keeps aging. Most mornings begin at home. You make coffee and prepare nearly every meal yourself. The car in the driveway is paid off and carefully maintained. When something still works, you keep it. There is calm in this routine. Bills are predictable, and market headlines rarely change tomorrow's plans. You know what leaves the checking account. Very little happens by accident. Your modeled Social Security deposit provides $1,900 each month. That leaves a gap of $600. The portfolio must provide $7,200 during the first year. Against $500,000, that is a starting withdrawal rate of roughly 1.4%. The portfolio is earning a difficult privilege. It has the chance to grow while also helping you live. Under our smooth base model, the balance could reach about $625,000 after 20 years. That number reflects today's purchasing power. Your withdrawal remains lower than the portfolio's modeled growth after inflation. This gives you a wide margin when markets fall. A car repair is inconvenient, not catastrophic. A medical bill does not force an untimely sale. You are unlikely to ask your children for help. The lifestyle protects your legacy. The house remains intact, and the portfolio may still be substantial late in life. On paper, this version wins almost every safety test. But retirement is not really lived on paper. You decline a dinner because the restaurant feels unnecessary. A visit to an old friend moves to next spring. Then spring arrives with another repair, another concern, and another reason to wait. Your account remains healthy and your home remains quiet. Yet the habit that built the money follows you into the years meant for using it. Saving no longer serves the life. The life begins serving the savings. That is the hidden cost of the safest level. You may never face the fear of running out. Instead, you risk reaching your later years with money available and experiences no longer possible. The answer is not reckless spending. It is deciding what safety should protect. Independence matters. So do health, connection, and time with people who may not be here forever. Now, imagine adding only $1,000 to this monthly life. The change sounds modest, but the demand placed on your portfolio rises by far more than it first appears. At $3,500 monthly, retirement stops feeling like an exercise in restraint. You remain in the paid-off house. The car remains dependable, but ordinary choices no longer require a private debate. You meet friends for dinner without studying every price first. Birthdays include thoughtful gifts instead of careful excuses. Once a year, you take a modest trip somewhere warm. It has a budget, but it happens. When the refrigerator fails, you replace it without moving money between 3 accounts. Life stays simple. It no longer feels narrow. The numbers explain why this level feels different. Your annual lifestyle costs $42,000. Social Security supplies $22,800 in our model. The portfolio must provide the remaining $19,200. That creates a starting withdrawal rate of roughly 3.8%. It sits very close to the research benchmark we discussed earlier. The portfolio now has a real job, but it is not being asked to perform a miracle. Under our smooth base model, about $320,000 remains after 20 years. After 30 years, the balance is still near $195,000. Both amounts reflect today's purchasing power. Those balances are not promises. Poor returns, higher taxes, prescriptions, or home repairs could weaken them. The plan survives through flexibility. That flexibility appears in ordinary decisions. When markets fall, you delay a trip instead of selling more investments. You keep the car another year. Optional spending falls while essentials remain protected. This is why the lifestyle feels stable. Social Security covers more than half of your monthly life. The portfolio pays for choice and comfort. It supports retirement rather than carrying retirement alone. The emotional balance changes too. Prices no longer control every invitation. You can say yes often enough to remain connected. You can say no without feeling retirement has failed. There are limits. Frequent international travel does not fit easily. Large gifts to an adult child could weaken the plan. Long-term care needs resources this model has not reserved. Still, this lifestyle provides something the first one could not. Your money has a purpose beyond survival. It protects tomorrow while making today worth protecting. The danger is believing the balance can support every upgrade. Another $1,500 monthly raises the portfolio withdrawal from $19,200 to more than $37,000. The lifestyle rises by less than half. The demand on your portfolio nearly doubles. At $5,000 monthly, retirement resembles the life you pictured while working. Comfort is no longer an occasional reward. It becomes routine. It feels right. You eat at better restaurants without waiting for anniversaries. The old car becomes something newer and easier to trust. 2 trips appear on the calendar each year. You can respond when family needs help. A grandchild needs a laptop. Your adult child faces an unexpected repair. You send the money because generosity now fits the lifestyle. This version feels abundant without looking extravagant. The house remains paid off. You are buying convenience, experiences, and fewer reasons to say no. The annual cost is $60,000. Social Security still provides $22,800 in our model. Your portfolio must supply the remaining $37,200. That creates a starting withdrawal rate near 7.4%. The rate is not slightly above our previous level. The portfolio burden has almost doubled. Under the smooth base model, the money lasts roughly 16 to 17 years. You begin at 67. That places the potential depletion point around age 83 or 84. The danger feels distant at first. The account remains large, markets may rise, and each withdrawal looks small beside the balance. Comfort becomes normal before the cost becomes visible. Then the percentage works against you. As the balance falls, the same withdrawal consumes more of what remains. Growth has less money to use. Eventually, the portfolio stops funding comfort. It races against the calendar. If the account reaches zero, Social Security does not disappear, but the available monthly income could fall from $5,000 to roughly $1,900. That is not a gentle adjustment. It is a financial cliff. By then, reducing the lifestyle may be harder than it sounds. Family may expect support. Your body may need services that were unnecessary at 67. This does not make the lifestyle foolish. It uses years when travel is easier and energy is stronger. You create memories, help people you love, and enjoy what saving produced. But the choice needs an ending plan. Spending could decline after the early active years. Home equity might become part of the later safety net. Travel and gifts could follow clear limits when the portfolio crosses specific levels. Without those adjustments, comfort today is financed by dependence tomorrow. That is the trade. You receive more life early, but surrender more choice later. Now, a different question appears. What if the healthy years are worth more than the later ones? What if you decide to spend faster on purpose, knowing the lifestyle was never meant to last forever? This is the logic behind the fourth lifestyle. You decide the healthy years should not be treated like later ones. You spend more while your body can still use the freedom. At $6,500 monthly, the calendar fills quickly. There are family flights, longer stays in places you once rushed through, and hotels near people you love. Retirement feels larger than the house you once left for work. You no longer choose every flight by price alone. You stay long enough to enjoy a place instead of collecting photographs. When your children invite you somewhere, time and money can finally give the same answer. You are present, not rushed. The lifestyle costs $78,000 each year. Social Security supplies $22,800 in our model. That leaves $55,200 for the portfolio to provide. The starting withdrawal rate is just over 11%. More than $4,600 must leave the portfolio every month. At this point, the account is no longer supporting the lifestyle around the edges. It is carrying most of the experience. Under our smooth base model, the money lasts roughly 10 to 11 years. Starting at 67 places the depletion point near age 77 or 78. The travel years may be rich, the landing afterward may not be. That does not make the choice irresponsible. Travel may decline as energy changes, and expensive hobbies may fade. A smaller future lifestyle can be planned, but total spending may not fall. Healthcare and paid help can replace travel. This creates the central tension. You are buying a decade of freedom by reducing the protection available for the decade after it. The decision can be thoughtful. It cannot be invisible. Without a landing plan, the final trip ends with nowhere affordable to return. Social Security remains, but it cannot carry $78,000 of expectations. Something must change before the portfolio forces it. One approach front-loads spending for 3 or 5 active years. The travel budget then falls before the account reaches danger. Another approach uses guardrails. If the balance crosses a chosen level, one trip disappears. Recovery can bring part of it back. This lifestyle gives you stories, movement, and time beside people who matter. It may create retirement's strongest memories. Those benefits are real. So is the shortened runway. The difference is intention. Spending fast with a planned landing is a choice. Assuming $500,000 will somehow recover is only hope wearing expensive clothes. There is one lifestyle above this. It does not merely spend for experiences. It spends as though the balance has become permanent wealth. $500,000 can make you feel rich for a while, but only if you stop asking how long the feeling lasts. At $8,000 a month, retirement stops feeling comfortable. It begins feeling like wealth. You replace the reliable car with a newer model. You book better seats on long flights. Dinner becomes a regular pleasure. When your children need help, you answer without checking the account. For a few years, this life feels completely reasonable. Your portfolio is still large, and Social Security arrives every month. Nothing appears broken. That is what makes this pace dangerous. The lifestyle slowly becomes part of your identity. The upgraded room feels normal. The generous gift becomes expected. Cutting back would not feel like an adjustment. It would feel like losing ground. $8,000 each month means $96,000 every year. In our model, Social Security provides $22,800 annually. Your portfolio must supply the remaining $73,200. That is $6,100 from investments every month. The initial withdrawal rate is 14.6%. At that rate, the portfolio does not need a crisis to fail. Even with smooth returns, $500,000 may last only 7 or 8 years. You could reach an empty account around age 74 or 75. Then the market adds pressure. Imagine the first year begins well. You take the trip, buy the car, and settle into your new rhythm. Then your phone lights up with another market alert. Stocks have fallen 20%. The loss hurts every retirement plan, but it does not hurt every lifestyle equally. The Essentials-only plan still withdraws very little from the portfolio. It has time to recover, and its balance may still grow over the long run. Simple and stable loses some safety margin, yet flexible spending could still preserve decades of runway. Comfortable feels the change more sharply. A runway near 16 or 17 years could fall toward 12. Active and travel-heavy may fall from roughly 10 or 11 years toward 8. Premium pace takes the hardest blow. Its 7 or 8 years may shrink towards 6. These figures are illustrations, not promises. Taxes, inflation, returns, and personal benefits will change the outcome. The pattern matters more than the exact ending date. An early market loss creates sequence of returns risk. You sell investments after prices fall because the bills continue arriving. Those withdrawals leave fewer dollars invested when the market eventually recovers. The recovery can be real. Your account may never fully participate in it. Now, picture yourself back at the kitchen table. The same $500,000 sits on the same screen. But it no longer looks like a label called rich. It looks like a limited number of years, choices, and chances to recover. At the premium pace, your money buys freedom now by borrowing from your future. At the lower levels, it buys something less visible. It buys time. So, which lifestyle actually gives you the most? The answer depends on what you need this money to protect. So what does $500,000 give you in retirement? At $2,500 a month, it gives you endurance. Choices stay narrow, but the portfolio carries little pressure. The money protects your future more than it improves today. At $3,500, it gives you stability. There is room for ordinary pleasures and surprises. You live simply without measuring every grocery item. At $5,000, it gives you comfort for a limited chapter. Travel becomes possible. Yet each good year quietly uses part of a future year. At $6,500, it gives you an active retirement with a visible deadline. You collect experiences quickly, knowing the pace may change while you are still healthy. At $8,000, it gives you the appearance of lasting wealth. The lifestyle feels abundant, but the portfolio becomes a countdown. An early market loss moves it faster. The same balance creates 5 different lives because spending changes what the number means. That is the lesson. $500,000 is neither a fortune nor a failure. It is stored time. Every monthly expense decides how quickly that time becomes the past. The lowest lifestyle is not automatically best. Protecting every dollar can become another kind of loss. You saved for a life, not merely a larger final statement. The highest lifestyle is not automatically freedom either. Spending without a margin makes tomorrow responsible for today's comfort. You may not notice that trade until your choices begin disappearing. The strongest plan lives somewhere between fear and fantasy. It covers the life you value today while preserving room for bad markets, medical costs, and a longer life. That room is called flexibility. Small changes can protect entire years. Before choosing a monthly budget, ask what cannot be compromised. Is it remaining in your home, visiting family, paying for better health care, or simply sleeping without wondering what the market did today? Build around those answers first. Let the optional upgrades move when life changes. A plan that can bend has a better chance of surviving without breaking you. Now you are back where the story began. You are looking at $500,000 on a screen, asking what kind of retirement it can buy. The number has not changed, but now you can see the 5 lives hidden inside it. 1 protects every year. 1 balances safety with ease. 1 spends for comfort. 1 races toward experiences. 1 briefly feels rich. $500,000 does not choose your retirement lifestyle. Your monthly decisions choose how long that money can keep choosing for you.